Every choice changes everything. You are listening to Crossroads Story. Forgive, fall, rise. Alex sat alone in his dimly lit room, the heavy weight of grief pressing down on him like a thick blanket. His heart ached for his brother Tom, whose laughter once filled their home. The memories flooded back, family dinners, late-night talks, and shared dreams. But now those moments were tainted by anger towards the man who had taken Tom away. Every day felt like a battle for Alex. He couldn't escape the visions of that terrible night, nor could he shake the growing fury inside him. It was a whirlwind of emotions that left him confused and exhausted. Friends urged him to seek justice, to confront the killer and make him pay for his actions. But deep down, Alex knew that revenge might not bring the peace he desperately sought. With every passing moment, he wrestled with his feelings, grief intertwined with rage, love tangled with hatred. Little did he know, one choice would change everything and lead him down a path he never expected. The memories surged to the forefront of Alex's mind, pulling him back to that fateful day when everything changed. It was a sunny afternoon, and laughter echoed through the park as Alex and Tom played their favorite game of catch. They tossed the ball back and forth, cheering each other on with every catch and joke shared under the warm sun. Tom's infectious smile lit up Alex's world, reminding him of the unbreakable bond they shared. Suddenly, the cheerful atmosphere shifted as they heard muffled voices nearby. Curiosity piqued. The brothers wandered over to see what was happening. Before they could fully grasp the situation, chaos erupted. In an instant, everything turned dark and terrifying. A loud bang shattered their carefree day. Alex's heart raced as he recalled the horror that followed. Tom had been there one moment, full of life, and gone the next. That moment marked the beginning of Alex's torment, embedding a deep ache in his heart that seemed impossible to erase. Days turned into weeks, and the ache in Alex's heart felt unending. The darkness around him seemed to intensify, until one evening a friend shared unsettling news. The name echoed in Alex's mind like a thunderclap. Jake. He learned that Jake was the young man responsible for Tom's death. Feeling a rush of adrenaline mixed with sorrow, Alex's anger surged as he discovered more about Jake. He was just a troubled kid from a rough neighborhood, struggling with his own demons and regrets. Rumors painted him as reckless and lost, a boy who never meant for tragedy to strike. Alex found himself torn between his desire for revenge and an unfamiliar sense of empathy for this stranger. As he envisioned confronting Jake, he couldn't help but wonder what pain drove him to that moment. This new understanding opened a small door in Alex's heart, forcing him to question what justice truly meant and whether vengeance would really ease his suffering. The anger within Alex grew like a wildfire, consuming every thought. He couldn't shake the images of his brother's laughter from his mind, replaced now with a deep void. Fueled by rage and the desire for justice, Alex gathered his closest friends at a local diner, their usual hangout now a war room for his plan. As they huddled together, Alex shared the news about Jake, his voice trembling with emotion. "We need to confront him," he said fiercely. His friends exchanged nervous glances, sensing the intensity in Alex's eyes. They knew he was hurting, and that this was more than just revenge. It was about restoring some semblance of control over a shattered world. Determined, they plotted how to find Jake and make him pay for what he had done. In the heat of the moment, Alex felt a surge of purpose, believing that confronting Jake would finally bring him peace. But deep down, a whisper of doubt lingered. Would this truly heal his heart, or would it only plunge him deeper into darkness? As fate would have it, Alex stumbled upon Jake one rainy afternoon while walking through the neighborhood. The streets were slick with water, and the gray skies mirrored the turmoil inside him. Jake stood alone under a flickering streetlight, looking lost and vulnerable, a stark contrast to the monster Alex had imagined. With his heart racing, Alex approached cautiously. "You're Jake," he said, his voice a mix of anger and uncertainty. Jake turned, surprise flashing in his eyes. The tension between them was palpable, and for a moment neither knew what to say. Finally, Jake spoke, his voice shaky. "I didn't mean for it to happen," he confessed, revealing a raw honesty that caught Alex off guard. As they exchanged words, deep emotion spilled out, regret from Jake and sorrow from Alex. Each revelation peeled back layers of hatred, exposing the pain that both carried. In that brief encounter, they recognized how their lives had been intertwined by tragedy, forcing Alex to confront the very essence of revenge versus forgiveness. As the rain continued to fall, Jake took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts before speaking. "You deserve to know," he said, his voice trembling. He shared his story of growing up in a neighborhood where violence was commonplace, and hope felt like a distant dream. He had lost his father to the streets when he was just a child, leaving him to fend for himself and his mother, who struggled with addiction. Jake described how he felt trapped by his circumstances, always trying to survive rather than truly live. The night of the tragedy was born from a reckless moment, a desperate attempt to prove himself to some older kids who influenced him. I didn't mean for it to go that far," he stammered, tears brimming in his eyes. Hearing Jake's pain, Alex began to see the young man not just as a killer, but as someone shaped by his own suffering. This revelation deepened Alex's struggle between holding on to his anger and finding a way to forgive. As Alex listened to Jake's story, a whirlwind of emotion surged within him. The anger that once fueled his desire for revenge began to waver as he grappled with the realization that Jake was not simply a monster, but a young man shaped by hardship and poor choices. The image of the killer he had built up in his mind started to crumble, replaced by the understanding that they both were products of their circumstances. Alex's heart ached as he thought about Tom's laughter and warmth, juxtaposed with Jake's painful past. It felt unfair that both had suffered, one through loss and the other through regret. This inner conflict weighed heavily on him. Could he truly forgive someone who had caused him so much pain? Silent tears threatened to spill as Alex wrestled with the idea of mercy versus vengeance. He yearned for justice but felt an emerging compassion for Jake. This struggle marked a pivotal moment in Alex's journey, pushing him closer to a decision that could redefine his future. The weight of Alex's decision pressed heavily on him as he stood at a crossroads. On one side lay the path of revenge, where he could join his friends and confront Jake with fists and fury, delivering what he believed was justice for Tom. The thought of finally releasing his pent-up anger felt almost intoxicating, like a boiling fire ready to explode. Yet, the other path whispered a different promise, a chance for healing and understanding. As Alex recalled Tom's laughter, he remembered how his brother had always chosen kindness over hate. With every minute that passed, the picture of his brother's gentle spirit clashed with the harsh image of revenge he had built. Standing alone in the dim light of that rainy evening, Alex closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He could feel the warmth of compassion rising within him, urging him to reach for something greater than vengeance. This moment would define him. Would he embrace mercy or give in to darkness? The choice loomed ahead, and Alex knew it would shape not only his future, but also the legacy of his brother. As Alex stood in the rain, memories of Tom flooded his mind, each recollection a reminder of the values his brother held dear. Tom had always believed in the power of forgiveness and the strength that came from compassion. He often reminded Alex that holding on to anger only led to more pain, and that it took courage to choose love over hate. With each passing moment, these lessons echoed louder in Alex's heart. He remembered how Tom had helped others, always looking for ways to lift them up rather than tear them down. The image of his brother's smile brought warmth to his cold, conflicted heart. In that quiet moment, Alex felt something shift within him. He realized he could honor Tom's memory, not by seeking revenge, but by embodying the goodness his brother had shown throughout his life. Forgiveness didn't mean forgetting. It meant freeing himself from the chains of bitterness. This realization began to shape his resolution as he moved closer to defining the path he would take. With newfound resolve, Alex found himself standing before Jake, the rain still drizzling softly around them. The confrontation he had envisioned as a moment of vengeance transformed into something unexpected. Instead of anger fueling his words, compassion took the lead as he spoke. "Jake," Alex began, his voice steady yet soft, "I've come to understand that your life has been filled with pain, just like mine. I don't want revenge. I want you to know that I'm choosing mercy." As the words spilled out, he felt a weight lift from his heart. Jake's expression shifted from surprise to confusion, and then to gratitude as he processed Alex's offer. I don't deserve your kindness," he stammered, eyes welling with tears. "You might not feel worthy," Alex replied gently, "but we all make mistakes. You can still change your path." This moment of connection opened a doorway for both of them. One filled with the possibility of redemption and healing rather than hate. Together they took their first step toward a brighter future. In the days that followed their heartfelt conversation, both Alex and Jake found themselves on parallel journeys of healing. Alex began to feel a lightness in his heart as he focused on the values Tom had instilled in him, seeking ways to honor his brother's memory through acts of kindness and understanding. He volunteered at local community centers, helping youth like Jake, aiming to create a space where they could feel supported and valued. Meanwhile, Jake took Alex's words to heart, slowly breaking free from the cycle of despair that had shaped his life. He sought out counseling to confront his past and make amends, each small step feeling like a victory. The vulnerability he shared with Alex sparked a desire for change, allowing him to visualize a future filled with hope rather than regret. Their paths, though separate, intertwined as they both embraced forgiveness. Each day brought new lessons about compassion and redemption, illustrating how powerful these forces could be, not just for themselves, but for those around them as well. In choosing mercy, they discovered healing that transcended their individual pain, ultimately forging a bond rooted in understanding and shared growth. In the end, Alex and Jake's journeys highlight a powerful truth. The choices we make shape not only our own lives, but also the lives of others. Through his loss, Alex discovered that embracing mercy over revenge opened pathways to healing he never thought possible. Rather than allowing hatred to consume him, he chose to honor Tom's legacy by uplifting others and embodying the very values his brother had cherished. Jake, too, learned that acknowledging his mistakes and seeking redemption could lead to a brighter future. Their intertwined stories serve as a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is potential for transformation when we choose compassion. The emotional resolution they reached underscores the importance of understanding and forgiveness amid pain. By turning away from anger and embracing empathy, both Alex and Jake found peace after loss, not just for themselves, but also in how they could support those around them. This tale of forgiveness illuminates the path toward healing, showing us that our choices can lead us back to light and hope. Another story ends. Another crossroad crossed. Subscribe now for more tales of love, betrayal, and redemption.